it will feel good. The wind has started to blow this evening, and that is starting to help cool it down. That's really nice. So hopefully we will get some relief very, very soon. In the meantime, Monday has been canceled. Hello, Kim. Everything's been canceled on Monday because it's gonna rain. So, gonna have nothing going on. Let's see. Trying to get this link still for the ladies on Facebook. It hasn't come up yet. There we go. Now it's there. It is breezy today here too, Kim. I am so thankful, because that is taking that temperature down a little bit. Tomorrow after the rain, it's supposed to cool down about 10 degrees, and by Tuesday it's supposed to be down another 10, so we're going to lose like 20 degrees, and I'm glad. It's going to be, the high on Tuesday is supposed to be like 58, which is cool for most people, but after being so hot all week, I am thrilled. So I know that sounds weird, but I am just really, really happy. So let's see. I think we have everything up and running. Don't mind my hair. Like I said, it is super humid today, and that is not helping my curls. So they're a little bit fuzzy. I pulled them back into a little knot in the back of my head to help a little bit, but it is kind of crazy. So we are doing one and dones tonight. Everything that we have that we're going to show is the last one of its kind. These cannot be reordered from the company. So most of our items, people don't realize, are limited runs. So they make one batch of them, they release them, and when those sell out, they're gone. The company no longer has them. We cannot order them from them. And typically, our pieces, especially the more popular ones, will sell out the first day. And if they're a little bit, people are buying a little bit less, we might go a second or third day. It is very rare for them to last beyond that. Once in a while, we get some pieces that do, and just aren't quite reaching the target audience, and not too many people buy them. Or maybe people just aren't buying that week. You know, some weeks are bad. So, very rarely we'll have a few that last a little bit longer. But most are gone within the first day or two. And so this is where we get the one and dones, because I buy a certain number of pieces, usually 2 to 3. Once in a while, a little bit more than that, depending on how popular I think the piece will be. And once everything sells, and we have one left, that's our one and done. So that's where we get all the pieces for this show. I'm looking for something. Bear with me a second. There we go. My desk is kind of a mess, and I've been cleaning it up, and I'm not sure that cleaning it up actually helped, because now I can't find anything. Don't you hate that when you organize stuff and then it actually makes it worse? I'm used to it being the way that it is, so as soon as I start moving stuff around, then I can't find what I want. It's always something. Alright, I needed just a tiny bit of glue there. Which reminds me, if your stones do happen to pop out on your jewelry, there's some great jewelry glue available that you can buy. You can buy it almost anywhere. So most places have it, and it works really well. I think it might actually be better than the glue they put in there to begin with, because once I glue them in, they usually don't come back out. So take what you want from that. Let me put your names down, and we will go ahead and get started with our one and dones. Hello, Ruth. Hello, Aunt Dora. So we are now less than 30 days away from the wedding. It's getting close. I think she's getting nervous. She's packing up her room this week so that we can empty it out and get it all taken up to the apartment. She'll be living out of a suitcase for the next month. She's going to be gone part of the time, so... but it's making it very real for her, and that's a little bit Scary. All right, let's see. Let me close this up. And we are ready to get started. Again, this is one and done's. Everything's the last one. So our first piece tonight, let's do some bracelets. We have Cry Me a Rivera. Terrible, terrible name. In green. So we have these marquee-shaped green beads with a silver frame. This is a stretchy bracelet. So this is going to be piece number 1. That's kind of a medium green color. I'm looking on my chart to see what they call it. Maybe like a shamrock green. You know what color that is. It's typical St. Patrick's Day color. So there we go. That's number 101 tonight. Oops, and I left a pair of earrings up here. That's not a good idea. Number 102, my favorite color. Crown Jewel Couture. This is in that pretty, pretty royal blue. It is bittersweet in the kids' sleeve. It's going to be so quiet. Not that it's not usually quiet here anyway. When we went down from 4 to 2, it got pretty quiet because the other two kind of stay in their room to themselves a little bit. But now only having one other person in the house is going to be really weird. So we have upside down teardrops in the royal blue rhinestones. Little spacers are silver beads, and then the little rings that these rhinestones hang on are also have white rhinestones on them. So they're like the little wheels that have rhinestones. And this is the snake chain, so that rounded chain. This is the length. So it is hanging just down below that collar with that teardrop. The chain is hanging just above the collar. With the 2-inch extension, though, it is going to go down to mid-chest. And I see that we are... There we go. My camera's not cooperative. I need to maybe take the autofocus off because it's just terrible. So it will get down to mid-chest with the extension. So this is Crown Jewel Couture in blue. And this is going to be number 102. I think she's getting more nervous too as she's packing up her room because she's realizing how close it's getting. And it makes her a little bit nervous. Alright, next piece. We have some great silver hoops. I love my hoops. So these are some good ones. These have like a brush texture on them. You can see that little bit of texturing. Some lines going down this lengthways. These are wider as well. So they're a nice statement earring. These are subtle sheen in silver, and they are number 103. Number 104. And Mom, you said something about me not having very many black metal bracelets, so I had another set of stretchy bracelets. These are only in the black metal. You can see they have a couple different textures of beads on here. We have some smooth ones, we have some textured ones in a couple different textures, and then the little spacers. So a set of 3 stretchy bracelets in that black metal. This is Boundless Boundaries. Nothing like repeating yourself. And it is number 104. Hi, Becky. So 104. Let me put Becky's name down. How's everything going up there, Becky? Is it warm up yet? We're going to cool down to your temperatures this week, and I am so thrilled. Alright, our next one is a longer one, so I'm just going to hold this one up. This is in a jade green, set in gemstone in green. So we have that stone in the long rectangular shape. It is in a silver frame in that jade green. This is the length. So you can see it's hanging not quite down to the waist, but with that 2-inch extension, it is going to be down around her waist. Right now it's in the upper abdomen. So her waist is going to be right about where this button is. That's why I put this dress on her, because it helps mark everything. So this is set in gemstone in green. This one is number 105. 105. So sunny, still a little chill. Okay, you want 104? We'll put that down for you. All right, let's go ahead and ask our first question. Let's wake our brains up, because I think mine's still asleep. All right, 5 answers on this one. We're still on marriage, so we've got some marriage-related questions. Some of them are loosely related, but marriage-related questions tonight. 5 answers on this one. Let's go with number 5. Name something people try to keep when they get divorced. Something people try to keep when they get divorced. Ooh, tornadoes all night. Yuck. That's not fun. That's too much wind. The house, number 1. Everybody wants the house. You know why? Because it's expensive to get another one. The dog, yep, your pet. That was number 5. The kids. Kids are number 2. Absolutely right. So you've got the house, the kids, the pets. What else do people try to keep when they get divorced? The car. Yep, number 4. You guys are good at this. We all know what you're going to be trying to keep. Something ever happens, you've got your list. Money. That was the other one. Number 3. House, kids, money, the cars, and the pets. Because those are the hardest things to replace. So you want to try to keep them if you can. And that's what everybody ends up fighting about. All right. Our next piece is called Diva Dazzle, and it is in gold. Hello, Shannon. Diva Dazzle in gold. So this is more of a dainty necklace. We've got a gold setting with white rhinestones. This is in that Y shape, so it comes down to a V. Then we have the little tail hanging off the bottom, and that has that white teardrop rhinestone in it. See, this is the length of the necklace. So we're coming to a V. It's about 1/2 inch above that collar, and our little tail goes down about 3/4 of an inch below it. That camera. I hate this camera. I'm gonna have to get new software or something for it, because it is not doing the autofocus thing. Let's do this. There we go. With the 2-inch extension, it is gonna sit down to mid-chest. So we have Diva Dazzle. I almost can't say that. Diva Dazzle in gold. This one is number 106. Did I say hi to you, Shannon? I feel like I did, but I also could have just read it and thought about it while I was talking. Because I do that a lot. Do you ever do that with your husbands? You think you told them something, and they swear up and down that you didn't, and you can't figure out whether you really did or not? Speaking of marriage things, that's one of them. I can never remember for sure. Did I really tell him, or did I just think about telling him and then not actually do it? And of course, he always swears that I didn't tell him, so I did. Okay. See, at least women will be honest with you. Men are going to be like, no, you didn't tell me. And it's because they don't remember. This is Leafy Leader in browns. We're down to the last one of these. You can see we have beautiful brown rhinestone leaves on this one. And then in between we have little gold leaves, and these have, in that little vein going down the center, there are white rhinestones. So we've got a little bit more bling on that, a little bit sparkle. This is a beautiful necklace. I don't know if the camera even does justice to it, but it is half above and half below that collar. With the 2-inch extension, it is still going to get down to mid-chest because of the size of the leaves here. So nice mid-chest necklace. This is Leafy Leader, and it is in brown. It is pretty. It is number 107. I have played with the idea of keeping it, but I have another set already that is in those same colors. So I just haven't quite done it yet. I really hate this autofocus. Anybody else hate autofocus? Why does it never seem to work like it's supposed to? There we go. I'll just cover it up and then make it refocus. Number 108, we have Palm Picnic in silver. These are hinged silver earrings. They have a post that is behind this, and they're in the shape of palm fronds. This is the length and size, and of course they're curving the opposite way on me because I can't put my face between them, but these would normally curve toward your face on each side, so kind of framing your face. These are Palm Picnic in silver, and they are number 108. So we've had some big jewelry parties lately, and that's where we're getting a lot of one and dones right now because things have sold out to the last one. We just have one left. This was the special edition of one of our blockbusters. This is In Good Glazes in silver. Very, very popular blockbuster. This is a chunky necklace. So we have the white with the gray speckles, and then these have a little silver metallic sheen on top of the gray bead. We have the silver spacers, and then our earrings are also that gray bead with the metallic sheen on it. This is the length. It is hanging just above her collar, and with the 2-inch extension, it is going to sit down probably just barely above mid-chest, so it's a little bit shorter. This one is In Good Glazes. It is in silver. Oops. It is 109. See, now it focused. Figures. Maybe it'll catch up with itself, right? We can hope. Number 110, we have another pair of earrings. These are Canyon Canoe Ride in multi. So we have some highly polished crescents in silver, and along the bottom we have a row of white and blue crackle stone, and then our oval crackle stone in blue in the center with the dot motif around the outside. This is the length and size. Well, it's almost focused. Oh, Canyon Canoe Ride in multi, number 110. Let's do another question. At least maybe I'll feel better when it's not so hot. You know when it gets so hot and humid that it just kind of makes you feel sick? That's how I feel. All right, here we go. 5 answers. Again, our questions are marriage related tonight, so just kind of gives you an idea of where we're going. That's in Caitlin's honor, because we are less than 30 days away from the wedding. Let's go with number 2 on this one. 5 answers. What is the first thing you would do after your partner proposed to you? The first thing you'd do after your partner proposes to you. First reaction. What are you gonna do? Call your mom. Yep, tell people. Number 3. Absolutely right. Gotta tell the people, especially moms, right? Say yes. Yeah, that's a good idea, right, Shannon? That was number 2. That's why I made that the winning answer. Gotta say yes. Cry. Number 1. Yep. Lots of people cry when they get proposed to. I don't know if they're sad. We'll leave that one alone. Cry, say yes, tell people. What else do people do when they're proposed to? 2 more things. See, a lot of girls do this. Post it on social media. They may do that. They're probably going to do these 2 things in that post. Hug a kiss. Yep, number 5. One more thing. A reaction that you might get when you propose. Put on the ring. That would be a good idea. Jump up and down. Oh, that's close. Feel shocked. Also close. Take pictures. That is a good idea. Be excited. This is something you actually do. And it's because you're excited and shocked, and you're a girl. And girls do this when they get excited. Yeah, scream. Number 4 was Scream. You know, you always get that little squeal or scream when it first happens. So that was on there. I did not do those things. In fact, we had already just kind of decided to get married, and he decided that he probably should officially ask me and had a ring, even though I didn't really want one. And so he did. And I said, of course. So we'd already decided. So probably one of the least romantic proposals ever, but it got done. Alright, this is Regally Roped in black. Not throwing shade on Max, because it was just the situation. Regally Roped in black. So this has black beads. So these ones are beads. These are black rhinestones. So they're the dark gray like the hematite, and then it's roped because these frames are like that twisted rope look. So these are in a marquee shape, and then we have some squares up here at the top. This is a nice combination. Not too shiny and sparkly because they're not all rhinestones. So you get the kind of nice middle of the road. This one's just below the collar with the 2-inch extension. It is going to sit down to mid-chest. So we've got Regally Roped in black, and it is number 111. So apparently that runs in the family, huh, Mom? Yours was the same way. Now see, Roman did a little bit better with Caitlin's, but she did know it was coming at some point. They had already discussed it and decided like months before, but he waited to actually do the proposal, and so she was surprised when he did it because she didn't know when he was going to do it. So at least she got a little surprise there, right? Get a little something out of it. Alright, I call these the party dress earrings. We are down to our last pair in silver. I do still have these in the shiny copper, but this is our last pair in silver. By the way, you see my red mark on my arm? I turned off a burner and then reached over it to the back burner, and I got a little bit too close. I knew that burner was hot in the front, but I got a little bit too close and burned my arm. So that's what's going on there. So party dress earrings, these are called Metal Physical Mood, and they are in silver. The post is right about here, so they are going to sit up on your ear just a little bit and then hang down. And of course your face would be in between here. So last pair, Metal Physical Mood. I almost can't say that either. Number 112. I just don't have words today. The words are not wording. I think low-key is better. I like low-key. I'm not into big displays, so I was perfectly okay with the way it went. In fact, we got married at the Justice of the Peace, and I was thrilled with that. I did not want a big thing. I hate being the center of attention. Go figure, because here I am on camera in front of everybody. But I hate it. It doesn't bother me on camera for some reason. Maybe because I can't see you. So that was perfect for us. We just had the kids and our 2 witnesses, and we were good. Alright, this is called Impressive Shimmer. And this is in purple because these are like a grape candy purple rhinestone in the center. And then we have that ornate design around the outside. Kind of gives it like a Victorian look or an antique-y look. This is stretchy though, so it stretches in between each one of these panels. I guess we're going to call them panels because I don't know what else to call them. We're all family here. Yes, we are. So this is number 113, Impressive Shimmer in purple. Yeah, it's a little easier when you're doing it in front of friends, but still hard when you can see the other people. I think cameras do make it a little bit easier because you cannot see everybody. So, yeah. This is Raw Rapture in brass, and we're down to our last one on these. These are those Aurum rhinestones, which means they are basically the same color as the brass metal. They have a mirrored finish on them. I call it like a diamond shape because it almost looks like a diamond shape. I don't know what else to call this shape. And then the earrings are the same pieces that are in the necklace. So you have a nice match there, which is good because this is going to be hard to match. It is hanging just below the collarbone, so right about here. With the 2-inch extension, you're going to get it right down here to the collar. So this is going to be a collar length necklace. Also good for the button-up shirts where you have just this area open, so it's going to sit right up in here like my necklace is, and maybe a little bit lower if you use the extension. So good for those type of tops. This is Raw Rapture. It is in brass, and it is number 114 tonight. Number 115, down to our last one of these. So these are Embroidered Elegance in yellow. Becky calls these the daisy earrings, which they are. We have the little daisies in yellow and orange and aqua blue. And this is on kind of a yellowy orange background. And we have the little green leaves in there as well. This is the length and size. So they are a little bit bigger. But really nice colors in these, especially for spring. These are great spring colors. They're going to be in a lot of our clothes. So these are number 115 tonight. Which brings us to our next question. Let's see what kind of question we get this time. So I'm just scrolling past some of these questions. Hi, Tracy. I just have to say this. I'm going to tell on Caitlin. So this one question, we already did it another week about a situation where it's okay to take off your wedding rings. So Caitlin took hers off because she was doing her facial stuff before we got ready to go to the assembly day. And she walked out of the hotel room and left her ring up on the little shelf. And she, fortunately we had not checked out yet, so she still had a key. In fact, those places have electronic keys, so they're on our phone. So she was able to go back in the room and get it, but still, I'm glad she realized that she'd done it, because it would have been horrible to walk away from that room and leave her ring, because it probably wouldn't have been there when we went back. So hopefully she's learned her lesson about taking her rings off when she doesn't really have to. You know, when they're the real precious metals, the gold and the silver and platinum, whatever, you don't have to take them off to wash your face. It's fine, it's not going to hurt them. However, if you're wearing the costume jewelry, you should, because the soap and the water will damage them eventually. So, just a little plug for that. All right, let's find our question. Ooh, 6 answers here. And I'm not sure these are all confined to summer, but they have summer on here. So we'll go with that. 6 answers. Let's do number 5. Name something people do in the summer to attract a mate. Something that people do in the summer to attract a mate. What do you think? I think I'm going to have to turn this light down a little bit because it looks like it is making me very pale. It turned a little bit. Let's see. Turn that down a little bit. There we go. That's not so bad. Something people do in the summer to attract a mate. Tan, number 1. Gotta have that tan. Get in shape. Yep, number 6. Getting in shape. Gotta go work out. Wear skimpy clothes. That kind of falls between 2 on here, so I won't go with that one. We'll do a little more specific. Lose weight, number 5. That was the winning answer. Definitely trying to lose weight, because we're going to wear one of these things that's kind of skimpy, and you don't want to look bad in it. Dress up. Yep, number 3. So you might dress up. Get those pretty sundresses. You know, they're fun to wear in the summer, and they're cool. Go to the beach. Nope, but you might wear this at the beach. Yep, your bathing suit or your swimsuit. Gotta look good in that, right? So we're gonna work out, we're gonna lose weight, we're gonna wear the swimsuit, and then we're gonna tan. Hi, Anna. Hello, Terry. let me write you down. One more thing that you do, and you do this all the time, if you're trying to attract a mate, it is not confined to summertime. What might you do? One of the first things you do when you find somebody you kind of like, what do? And you should not do this if you're married. Wear makeup. Not the makeup. Especially not summertime, because it's just going to melt off your face. Flirt. Yeah. Number 4. Number 4 was flirt. I don't know why it's on this summer list. Like I said, if you're only flirting in the summertime, I don't think you're going to be very successful. But, you know, whatever. Anyway. Alright, this one's a little bit longer, so I'm just going to hold this up. This is called Famous and Fabulous. This is in blue. And you can see we have navy blue beads, but they have that little bit of a mirrored finish on them. So they also have a little silvery. And then this one is iridescent and clear. We have the paperclip type chain. And then some round chains in here. So a little bit of everything in this necklace. This is the length. So it is down to the bust already. Let's make this even. There we go. Down to the bust, and with the 2-inch extension, it's actually going to come down over the bust. My camera hates me. I have got to figure out how to make the autofocus work better. So it will come down here with that extension. We have Famous and Fabulous. This is in blue, and it is number 116. Number 117. These are called Ringed in Refinement, and they are in pink. See those hot pink rhinestones in there in the beveled edge, and let's see, the rest of those are just silver, making sure there wasn't any white. Yep, those are all pink, and then we have the little bit of silver dots in there as well, in a highly polished silver. So this is the length and size. So we have Ringed in Refinement in pink, number 117. I don't know why, the light looks a little bit yellow on the Facebook camera, and it's right and a little bit bright on the Instagram camera. I'm going to cover that up just so it'll focus. Okay, it's getting there. I think it's being slow. I think that's what the problem is. Number 118. This is an adjustable clasp bracelet, so we have the lobster clasp along with the extension. This is a little silver flower, white rhinestones in the center, and those are polished silver curved bars make up the sides. This is called Hibiscus Hipster, and it is in white. It is number 118. Hello, Jessica. 118. Put Jessica down. $119. Here's one of our wooden necklaces. This is such a pretty color, so I wanted to bring it out. It is a dark, like kind of a teal turquoisey color. 3 layers. This is super lightweight wood. So we have the 3 layers. We have black string that these are all strung on. And Rosie and the girls. I saw you guys, Rosie and the girls, today just from a distance. I didn't get to say hi, so hi. So these are little blue discs, and then the blue, I call these donut. I guess they would be donut discs on here because they're wood, they're not beads. But donut beads as spacers in between. This does not have an extension on it because it is the loop and button closure. So just a little loop goes over a button. This is the length though. Nice length. This one's already down past mid-chest. The last one is right here on the bust, or right at the top of the bust, depending on how it fits you. Mine would probably be like right at the top. So this one is called Barbados Bopper. Good for your beach trips, or just for feeling summery. This would look cute with a white sundress during the summer. Number 119. I like getting the white and then having that bright color against it. A bright pink, a bright blue, anything like that. Next we have Castle Diamonds. This is rhinestone in a light brown, and then the light brown rhinestone is surrounded by little white rhinestones. We call those a halo around the outside, even if it's not round. So you've got your halo around it. This is double chain on both sides. This is the length, so it is a little bit shorter. Starts right down here just below your collarbones and then goes to about her collar, and with the 2-inch extension it's going to sit where just this is down below the collar. So it's going to be from the collar length and down, not quite hitting mid-chest. This is Castle Diamonds in brown, and it is number 121 because we are still missing 120. So 121 it is. And that brought us to our next question already. Let's see. All right, 5 answers. Here's a wedding one. 5 answers for this one. Let's go with number 4. Name something couples share at their wedding. 121 to Jessica. Gotcha. Something couples share at their wedding. What do they share? Cake, number 1. If they're not smashing it in each other's faces. I guess that's still sharing, right? A kiss, yep, number 3. Dance, number 4. That was number 4. Champagne, oh, so close. You do this with the champagne, though. So we have cake, kiss, and dance. What else do couples share at their wedding? Champagne is on there. The toast, yeah. Toast was number 5. One more thing that they share at their wedding. So we've got the cake, we've got the kiss, the dance, the toast. What else do couples share at their wedding? A table, that's a good answer, but it is not on there. This is actually during the wedding ceremony. What do they share? Champagne. I want some champagne. Mimosas are good. A walk back down the aisle. That's after this happens. They do share that, though. They walk back down it together. What else might couples share at their wedding? The vows. Yes, number 2. Vows were number 2. All right, let's finish up our last 5 here. So we've gotten 20 done so far, got 5 to go. The replay will be up afterwards in case you want to look at it and see what you missed. We have a set of stretchy bracelets here. These are all one and dones. This is authentically artisan in multi. So these are the crackle stone. We have turquoise, we have orange, and we have yellow. And those with the highly polished silver beads and little spacers. Those kind of look like little bone spacers to me down there. That's what they remind me of. Both of them stretchy, so these are 2 separate bracelets. This is authentically artisan in multi, number 122. Number 123, we have a set here of a bracelet and necklace. This is our last one. It just came in this week and we're already down to the last one. So some of this stuff goes really fast. This is floral feature in blue. So this is several shades of blue. We've got some navy in there, and then we've got some more, not quite royal. It's like 1 shade less than royal. 1 shade lighter or brighter, and then there's white rhinestones in the centers. This is a stretchy bracelet, so it also has those same flowers on it. The back is made of the blue beads, 3 strands of them, and they are stretchy. So this is the length of that necklace. This is half above, half below, and with the 2-inch extension, it is going to sit down to mid-chest. So we have floral feature and bracelet, matching bracelet. This one is number, if I can get it up here, get my fingers in between the cards, 123. 123 tonight. Always some kind of technical difficulties. All right, number 124. Had this the other night. 123. You want a second set, Aunt Dora? Because you claimed one set already. I just want to make sure. This is absolutely brilliant in black. So we have black beads, and then we have white rhinestone studded round beads as well. We've got the black and the white in there. This is the length. It is sitting at the collar. With the 2-inch extension, it is going to sit down to mid-chest. So, a little bit smaller necklace. This is absolutely brilliant in black. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So we do still have one of those sets available. Number 124. Number 125. So we just have one more after this. This is Contemporary Connections in purple. So we have the antique looking filigree, and then we have the little light purple rhinestones in that. So combination of silver and purple. This is the size, length and size. It is down past mid-chest already. So with the 2-inch extension, it is going to sit right here just above the bust. This one is Contemporary Connections in purple, that light purple. It is number 126 because we're also missing 125. I think they ran away and joined each other because, you know, 120's been gone for a while. And then just in the past week or so, 125 has also gone missing. I don't know where it went. All right, this next one's choker length. So we have extra extension for this one. I don't know if you can see it or not, but those are oil spill beads. So they call it oil spill because you have that base color and then it reflects all the other colors. Hard to see except in the light. And then the earrings are cute little clusters hanging on rings of those same beads. This is a great one for layering if you want to make your own layers. So with the choker length, it is going to sit kind of right here at the base of the throat. We have 4 inches of extension on this one, so it is actually going to sit down here, which is going to be just above the collar. So let's see if you can see the colors a little bit better like this. Sometimes when I put it against my skin, it's a little easier to see the colors. So this is Mini MVP in multi. It is our last piece for tonight. It is number 127. All right, if you missed any part of the show or you just want to see something again, the replays will post after we get done and we shut this off here. Instagram is pretty instant. Facebook, sometimes it takes a few minutes for Facebook to show up, but don't give up on it. It will be there. Invoices will go out tomorrow evening. So I'm trying to remember if anybody had one. Yes, I think so. So I'll just add to that. So there was one from last week and I'll add to that one. If you only have one piece, I will hold it for the next week. So if you happen to want it, especially if you're going to want it for the memorial this week, make sure you tell me because I need to go ahead and get that out ASAP so that it gets to you in time because the mail has been a little bit slow lately. But if I mail it tomorrow or even Tuesday, you will probably get it in time for Saturday. So just in case you need it, make sure you let me know. All right, you guys have a great rest of your evening and a nice week ahead of you. It's going to be cooler here, so we're going to enjoy that. And we will see you back here on Friday night. Good night, everybody.